let's talk about the dating profile of the day. As you guys know, I review a profile every day just to show you all the little red flags that a lot of guys don't notice. And this profile right here probably is the best one this week, where the red flags are quite hidden. So let me show you. First, as always, let's start with the pictures. Now, this lady is actually quite pretty. It says she's 33. Sacramento, California. I specifically picked that because I'm from Sacramento. I missed that place dearly. Still have a lot of friends there. And one of these days, I'm going to go and visit, but probably not anytime soon. So she's 33. Does she look 33 on this picture? That's the question number one you might want to ask. Could be a bad picture. Could be she's lying about her age, which people do all the time, men and women. Reminds me of a prettier sister of Alanis Morissette. If some of you are old enough to remember who that is, let me know if you agree. All right, so let's go over her pictures. And generally speaking, they are all just fine. There's nothing that you would see here. There's no tattoos. There's no bikini pictures. And here we're back, right? At first sight. And a lot of you will swipe right. And, I always invite guys, listen, because so many women obviously don't match with you. As soon as you see an acceptable picture or acceptable set of pictures, swipe right. Once she matches with you, then you read and analyze and everything. So now if you were to analyze, you will see. Now, by the way, I don't understand why women take pictures in shades in general. Why do you take pictures in shades? Like, if you want to make a memory, why not remember what your eyes look like at that point, right? And if you did take a picture like this is kind of useless. You're showing half of your face. It's kind of like Bean and Burker, right? It's like, great, we can only see your eyes, but what about the rest? Which brings me to one observation that I don't know if any of you noticed, but there's absolutely no pictures here of her waist down. And that usually, even this one is not. And that, now, by the way, let me go back to this picture really quick. I don't know if you noticed, and this is probably the picture that noticed this the most. She does look like she might have had some plastic surgery or some Botox and lip fillers and all that stuff. Now, this is not necessarily a red flag, but it's definitely a yellow flag. You always, especially at the age of 33, which again makes me question if she's 33, because that's not the age when women normally start doing Botox and lip fillers and plastic surgery. But usually it's not a good sign. It's usually not a good sign if a woman, especially in her early 30s, is already trying to plastically and surgically change her face, which usually never ends up well. Here in Southeast Asia, oh my God, so many women do plastic surgery. It's like no big deal. And I've never seen a woman who looked better after the plastic surgery than she did before. It's just, let me know in the comment section if you have. I have never have. Now, this picture is a bit of a yellow flag. But as you can see, none of these pictures have her, you don't know what her body looks like. And there are usually only two reasons why women don't show pictures of their bodies. Because when a woman has a nice body, she'll make sure to show it off because obviously she wants to attract the most men and get the most compliments and so forth. But usually, one, it means that she's fat. And not only she's fat, she's just kind of like ashamed of admitting this to everybody and then kind of hiding it to you, like you're not going to see it once you meet her. Like, what do you think is going to happen? I never understood why people do that. Or she might not give a fuck. As a matter of fact, she may be one of those many, many women who post her profiles on social media, on dating apps specifically, just to get the attention. Very recently, there was a study from Tinder that showed that I think like half of women who post profiles on Tinder and other dating apps don't really want to date or meet any of these guys. They just want the attention and in some cases money, because a lot of simps give them money. And we literally just covered the news story on Monday where a British woman went to jail for doing that. I don't understand why the rest of the women in Great Britain are in jail for exactly the same thing, but that's a whole different topic. So, proceed with caution. This is what you should see in these pictures that look quite innocent at first, right? All right, let's scroll down. And, she's pro-choice. That's fine. If it's okay with you, that's great. Now, let me look at the first problem here. Now, she's vegan. Now, by the way, there's nothing wrong with being vegan. I would like to become a vegetarian and vegan and all that stuff because I was a member of PETA when I lived in the United States. I love animals. I just went to Africa specifically to be able to see amazing animals in the wild in the safari. It's all great. But As soon as you start dating her and taking her out to dinners, this is going to be quite a difficult task every time, because she either going to complain that there are no vegetarian or vegan choices, or they suck at the restaurants that you like, and then you're going to have to go to her restaurants, vegan restaurants, that, if you're not a vegan or vegetarian, you're absolutely going to hate. So just eating food will be a challenge with this woman. And that's really up to you if you really want to put up with that. All right. She's looking for long-term dating. She doesn't have any kids but wants them. So far, it looks all right. Doesn't have any pets. That's pretty good too. Doesn't smoke cigarettes. Also, smoking cigarettes or even e-cigarettes should be a complete deal breaker. All right. Let's get to her bio. And it says been divorced, which is okay. By the way, if you're in your 30s, you've probably been divorced. That's fine, as long as you don't have any kids. If anything, that's fine. However, she goes on to say, been divorced long enough spelled E-N-U-F. How old are you? Girls that 20 years younger don't even do that. To know what I won't deal with. Now, this is a big yellow flag as well, because first of all, you married the guy you picked, right? So this is your thing, right? But what it really tells you is that she's going to punish you, the guy who's getting a girl in her 30s versus her ex-husband who got her in her 20s. She's going to punish you for all the shitty things that he did to her, which, again, the man that she chose, right? And this is where it is, I always advocate, and I always try to catch myself if I ever treat a girl in a certain way because, my ex did this one thing. And, never do that. Always should be a clean slate. Of course, don't be a fool. But, this is something that, she might take out her frustration and her whatever with her ex-husband on you, and you don't want to do that. She says, I want a liberal man, which is fine. I mean, given the fact that, the politics is so polarized in America. Now, I myself am independent, and now that I live here in Thailand, I absolutely love the fact that I don't give two shits about the politics in America. It's fair for her to say, okay, I want a liberal man. Now, except for this one thing, if you noticed early in the profile, it said politically moderate. So if she's politically moderate, why is she looking for a liberal man? And I'm going to assume it's because she's looking for a simp, right? Majority of liberal men, majority of Western men are simps, but specifically liberal men are most likely simps. So that's something to look out for. The rest is kind of fine. Okay. It says, one day I would like to find someone special for a new chapter in my life. That's great. If you're that person, hit me up on IG. Okay. Now, every time you see a girl's Instagram username, you got to proceed with caution, because why give your Instagram out when, you put the pictures up, you had a chance to tell everybody about yourself. There's a way to communicate on this app. Are you trying to say that, if a guy is super cheap and he doesn't want to pay for a dating app, I'm still going to let him contact me? It's kind of working against your own interests, so it's kind of stupid. But the reason that usually it's a yellow flag is because there are a lot of women who, again, as I mentioned before, sign up with dating apps specifically so they can get attention and validation and money. Because I'm telling you, a lot of you guys, especially simps in America and Europe, end up sending money to these women, and that's how a lot of them make money, right? Now, I did go to the Instagram and look at her profile, and this is what I found. So she either had a profile and then removed the profile, which is kind of weird, or she had a profile and misspelled it because she doesn't give a shit. But to me, it's like, listen, if you're already giving me your Instagram profile and you're active on this dating site, don't fucking misspell your fucking Instagram. This is just more trouble and showing us how unorganized and just kind of all over the place you are. So let me know how many of these, red little flags that you guys have noticed as we went over these profiles, because it is something that a lot of men just, once they see a match, and it doesn't happen a lot of times for men, right? They don't match very often. And once they see a match, they just like move on into the conversation right away when, all of the red flags are in the profile.
If you want to ditch modern women and move abroad for more traditional relationships, go to themillionmanproject.com, take my most comprehensive course, and change your life.